All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey. Tonight we got Mr. Jeff Canada in the house, and we're actually joined by Tim Odom from Gotta Love Texas Country Music or Texas Music Podcast. See, every fucking
Dude,
time.
how about you say it like you're not fucking
Look
reading
it
it? How about you just say it like you're not reading it? Just say it off your fucking mind. Just
Now we got him busting your.
Do you need me to introduce us?
No,
Oh, okay.
they brought me in to be the host, and they just make me fucking say
All
everything.
right. Just I won't look at you, so you don't have to be all fucking weird.
I know you're making me nervous over here.
I know
So
you're
handsome.
all turned on.
Try
and
this
shit.
again. You got it?
Hey, y'all. Welcome to True Tall Tales and Whiskey. Tonight we got Mr. Jeff Canada, joined by Tim Odom from the Gotta Love Texas Music Podcast. We're going to talk some shit, obviously, because that's all Jeff has done since he came in here.
I love Jeff.
So, all right, Jeff, we're going to start it off. Where are you from, and what the hell are you doing up here in Hunt County?
I'm from a town called Splendora, Texas. Actually, smaller than that, Plum Grove, Texas. But I went to Splendora High School, Splendora, all the schools. It's a little meth town in southeast Texas. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I came up here to play a show with Jeremy Bellamy. He hit me up, and I'm trying to network up here in this area and start to make some friends, and I'm really regretting that right now sitting in this chair. Yeah, that's where I'm from. That's why I'm here.
Why are you regretting it? Because you're deep off in the woods with five dudes and a
Because you scare me.
Sorry,
bro.
not a
You scare me, bro. You scare me.
I scare you.
Yeah,
You scare me.
because you're a pussy.
Josh, ask your question.
When you wrote a song like Back to Texas, did you not think you were going to run into a couple fake Morgan Wallens along your way?
All right, calm down, Bobby Hill.
I wish you were Morgan Wallen. That would be cool.
No, it would not.
Yeah, you could like give me money and be like, "Hey, come on tour with me and shit," and I could fucking be the opener and do nothing but make fun of his dumbass music.
I'm broke. I'm just a public dumbass.
Yeah, well, we're all broke here. We're musicians.
Yeah. I had money once. I had a real job.
Me
Somebody
too.
said, "Start a band. You'll have fun."
You know, it's one of those things where the 45 minutes or hour or 90 minutes that you're up on stage, it's a blast, but everything else that's involved in this industry is fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
The people, the money, all the shit. It's crazy. It's insane. You know, and I thought it was bad when I was on a little bit lower of a level, and I thought, man, when I get to this point, it's going to be better. And now I'm at that point, and it's not any better.
Yeah.
And then I want to get to the next, and you just meet shadier, like they're just smarter about how shady they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that you deal with, the shady ones. You know, when you're just a bar band, you got to deal with shady people, but they're dumbasses, so you can figure them out pretty good. But I've run into quite a few of the.
You meet some of those
shady
shady. Yeah, you meet some of those shady people that, they actually might actually know a few of these people, but they don't have the intentions they say they have.
Yeah, and then the thing that I'm getting forced on my fucking throat right now, and the more I get forced on my throat, the more I'm fighting is this. Shh, you can't say anything negative about another musician. You can't say anything negative about anything. You can't say, man, fuck them, bro. If you're doing some shit that you need to be called out on, you should be called out on. If I say some shit, you'll call me out on it. So why the fuck can't I call you out on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. There's one in particular in Houston that's just, oh, fuck me, bro. Like, you know, wants to preach to everybody, but then as soon as you say something to him, it's like, you know, it's brutal, bro. And then because he has his section, now I've lost some friends because of, you know what I mean? It's just whatever. I don't care. I don't need any friends. Fuck them. Like, I don't understand how someone that can't take criticism or can't take the word no or can't take negative situations becomes a musician, because that's all we get. I mean, it's no's. You're constantly running into people that are taking your money. You're constantly running into all this shit. And to be a sensitive person in that environment, I couldn't do it.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I'd cry and walk off stage.
Yeah.
That would be it for me.
Me, when I get a bad review,
Yeah,
like when somebody talks shit about me, I love it, dude. Or when I get a heckler in the crowd, hecklers are my favorite, bro. That's like, it's time to party. But, you know, if you can't deal with it like that, I don't know. I don't see how people get involved in it if they can't handle.
You've got to have thick skin, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're told no. You're literally told no all
99% of the time. Yeah.
And then every now and then you get a yes, and then they fuck you. So it's like, man, I finally got a break. No, I didn't. But
Yeah.
It's like dating.
But I would say that out of all of those shitheads out there, it really only makes up maybe 10%. I think for the most part, everybody, wants to get along and wants to better, build each other up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that's the way I am until you're not.
Yeah.
Until
you don't deserve it.
Until you don't deserve it, and then you just don't exist. And I'm going to talk shit about you every second I can because that's just what I do. Can't help it.
So speaking on that right there, what's the music scene like down in Houston? And you got some homies out there you want to shout out? Like anybody we need to be listening to or anything?
Oh
like
man,
that?
there's some great guys out of Houston and girls. I mean, Peyton Howie's amazing. Chad Cook Band's amazing. Rich O'Toole, he's down there.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole Willis Conroe area. I mean, that's where Cody Johnson came from. Josh Ward's down there. I mean, a lot of people have come out of that area. But the thing is, the problem with Houston is the cover scene is huge down there. And I did it for a long time. From 2006 to 2020, I played 250 to 300 shows a year. And I was making more money than I've ever made in my life, even when I worked in the oil field. And so the problem with that is the people in Houston, nobody wants to sleep on a bus with a bunch of dudes. They want to stay in their own bed because you can, if you can play guitar and sing, you can make $300 to $500 a night without even trying in Houston. But you got to play, wagon wheel and, well, not even that. Like in Houston, they're still stuck back in the fucking 90s rock area. So like you're still playing toadies and stuff like that. And I did it for years and years and years, and you can make a good living. I mean, I just lost my best friend, my bass player, because he's picking up shows making $300-400, And it's a good place to be if you want to make money playing music. It's a bad place to be if you want to try to build a original brand.
I guess that's why you killed that whole 90s set earlier when you were doing.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, when I first started playing guitar, it was like 1993 or 4 or something like that, and Pearl Jam and Bush and all those just and I found out what electric guitar it was, and back then girls like electric guitar way more than they did acoustic guitar. That time's changed, thank God. But so I learned how to play Enter Sandman and Bush, all those stupid songs that everybody else learns how to play.
Right.
And then but what we did, so I worked for NOV for 10 years or so, and I was a project manager in the oil field, and so I was making good money, and then I left there and started playing music full time, and it's just all I did was take everything I learned from that business, from doing all the things business wise, and I brought it over to the music industry, and that's why I was able to be so successful. So, and I made a lot of money. I was very connected. I had a entertainment company that was booking around 200 shows a month, all like acoustic stuff. And so, man, I mean, for a long time I was killing it. And then my mom got sick in 2018, and, I started writing songs again, and now I'm writing songs and touring and hanging out with you fuck faces and, all that good stuff, dude.
But doing the damn thing regardless.
Yeah, man, it is. And Tim and I were talking about this earlier. You hear people say you want to make it. Well, what is making it? Like, what is making it? I could tell you, like, my lights don't get turned off. You know what I mean? I mean, my child support's paid, my car note's paid. I drive a decent truck. Are some months more difficult than others for sure? But man, I'm making a living playing music. And now I'm making a living playing my own music. Mm-hmm. So what is make it? You go to Nashville and you get some fucking shitty 1090 deal. Where they give you $1 million or $2 million, and you got to record your record, and then you got to pay them back before you ever see a dime, and then you're only getting 10% of what you make. Fuck that shit. Y'all can have all that you want.
Live Nation's just going to take it anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't, I'm older. I'm 44, and I'm just going to stay independent. I mean, I can record my songs myself. I don't need somebody to pay for it, and I just work until I can pay for it myself. And then that way I own everything. I don't owe anyone. I mean, I have a couple investors that I owe some money, but it's not, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like millions of dollars like some of these guys. And so, but listen, I get into it all the time with folks in this business, and you can throw money at something and you can chase it and you can become TikTok viral and you can do all these stupid things. Nothing replaces getting out and playing shows in front of real people. That's the only way you can really make real fans. I'm not talking about somebody that's going to share your music. I'm talking about somebody that's going to drive 2.5 hours to come see you play. Like, that's the way you make real fans. You get out and you play shows in front of real people. That's it. And that's why I'm here tonight. You know, I mean, Jeremy hit me up and he was like, hey, man, you know, and he was like, I don't want to insult you with the pay, because the pay was, you know, horrible. And he was like, but man, I would love for you to come up and do this show with me. And I was immediately like, yeah, dude, it's a Tuesday night. I'll fucking come up there, because I'm trying, you know,
trying to spread out.
Yeah, trying to spread out. And if everything's about the money, then you're never going to grow. You know, if nothing's about the money, you're never going to grow. You got to figure out that balance. And just, you know, I can afford to come up here for a night. The way I look at it, I just got paid to come up here and do a podcast. You know, that's the way I look at it. How many guests get to come in here to get paid? You know,
for sure. And while we're on that, I do want to shout out Tim and Catherine. Gotta love Texas music. Everybody go follow their page, check them out. Awesome job at what they're doing. That's how we came. Or me personally, that's how I came across your name and got to listen to it. And then I saw you and Michael had a show, and that's when I really dove a little deeper into your music. And
yeah, that's the same with me.
That was a great damn show, too.
Listen, I've met so many awesome musicians because of that podcast. I mean, I hit Michael up before that show was even booked, because I heard his episode, and I hit him up. And I don't do that to everybody. The ones that I can relate with, I do. And I shot him a message, and I was like, dude, I watch your podcast, or listen to your podcast. It was awesome, dude. And I talked about your stuff, and I went and dove in and listened to his shit. Chris Cunningham's the same way, man. I love his stuff, dude. I love his stuff. You know, there's some of them that I don't really. I mean, not as people. I don't vibe with their music, you know, so I don't have anything to relate with them with. But I've met some really, really cool people, and I've opened up some cool opportunities. I mean, I told them both, you know, I met them a year ago.
It's been about a year.
A year ago, a few days ago or whatever. And they've been an integral part of my growth over the last year, because of me coming up here and getting to play in this area and meeting folks. And
hell yeah.
So that was fun. We all acted super professional for a few minutes. So it's probably time we get on.
I was going to say, what happened to the vibe that was here?
Hey, listen. It's probably time we get to the fuckery.
Hey, there's time. Listen, there's times to fuck off, and there's times to be stupid. But I think when you're paying somebody a compliment, you should be a little serious about it. And I'm just telling you, I mean, me and Tim have become really, really good friends, and a lot of the cats up here. I mean, I think me and Michael's going to end up being really good friends, and I'm going to get him down, you know, and that's the whole thing, you know, it's try to build these relationships and try to, like, now I got a guy that lives up here that we can trade shows, and I can bring him down to Houston, and we can do all these things. And that's what it's about. You know, you just got to build relationships. And that's the number one thing in this business you have to do. And everybody likes to bitch about it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's everywhere in the world. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Every industry, everything you do, that's the way it is. So shut the fuck up about it and just start making friends. It's not that hard.
For sure. So let's have a little fun and just ask some random stuff now.
All right, let's do it.
We don't all need to hug or anything to move this on.
Anti-bucket list. What's something you're never going to do again?
Step foot in Buc-ee's as one. Set in a Whataburger drive-thru will never happen again. I'm definitely not having any more kids.
Don't you say a fucking word, Josh.
I mean, there's a lot really that I'm never gonna do again, but I listen. I'm an open book about it. Y'all follow me on Facebook. Everybody knows what I'm. You know what I'm against, dude. That Buc-ee's for sure, because fuck that company. And if anybody here wants to unfollow me because I said that, I lost 440 fucking followers in one day because of that shit.
Because you said you didn't like Buc-ee's?
Yeah, they fucked me out of $70, dude, and I just, you know.
It was a goddamn flashlight.
It was a flashlight.
How'd you get fucked out? How'd you get fucked out of $70?
All right, so I was on a run. I was going to Amarillo, right? And so, you know, you stop at Buc-ee's and you walk around and stretch your legs and kick the shit out of the little fucking kids that are in there.
Take a picture in front of the beaver.
Take it, yeah, you know, exactly. You know, walk around and get you some fucking, you know, woolly mammoth beef jerky or whatever the fuck they're selling, and then you leave. And so I went through there and I was like walking around, stretching my legs, and I saw this flashlight, and I was like, and I just lost my flashlight, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy this flashlight, and it was like, 3,000 lumens or something. It was a good flashlight. It was $69.99. So I bought the flashlight, left, drove my truck, got to the hotel in Amarillo. I bought this in Ennis, Texas, is where I was at. Got to Amarillo, laid down in my bed, plugged in the flashlight, and it wouldn't work. The on and off switch was busted. I mean, you could see it under the little rubber thing. It was just busted. So I was like, all right, no big deal. I put everything back in the bag. I zipped it up or tied it up. I was going to be back in Ennis on Wednesday, so I came through on Wednesday, or I bought it on Wednesday. I was coming back through on Sunday. Stopped 3 days later, went in. I said I need to talk to a manager. She went and got a manager, and he comes up and he goes, "What? How can I help you?" I said, "Well, I got this flashlight and it's busted, and I bought it here 3 days ago." And he looks it up, he opens it up, and immediately I'm getting mad because I can see it in his fucking face that he was going to be a douche canoe about it, right? I just knew it was. And so he pulls out he's like clicking it, and then it comes on, but it's like the strobe. He's like, "Well, it looks like it works to me." I said, "Well, try to fucking turn it on a solid flashlight." He was like, and he couldn't get it to happen. He goes, "Well, let me go talk to my merchandise manager." I was like, "All right, go do that." So he goes over, and I see them down there talking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like fucking, getting more mad. I look like fucking Thumper, just more mad. And then he comes back, he's like, "Sorry, man, we're not gonna be able to take this flashlight back." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, we're not gonna be able to take this flashlight back." I said, "Oh, yeah, you are." No, you're not. And I was like, I literally could not believe what was going on in my, it wasn't one of these things where I just think I'm right. Like, I could not believe what he was fucking telling me. And so then I started to make a scene, and he was like, "No, we don't take back anything that we can't resell." And I was like, "I bought it here busted." Like, he's like, "Well, you got to go through the manufacturer." I was like, I was getting more mad. Then this lady, she had her kids, and she was like, "You need to watch your mouth, sir. I have my kids with me." And I said, "Are they getting fucked right now? Then shut the fuck up." And I turn around, and I just, man, and he was like, "I'm going to call the cops." I was like, "Please call the cops." And I just got more and more mad. And finally I was like, fuck it. I grabbed the flashlight, I left. And then I was driving back, and I was going to stop at the one in Waller or wherever on Madisonville. I was going to stop at the one in Madisonville, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, because if they tell me no, I'm going to park my truck inside their bathrooms. I know that's what I was going to do. So I just decided, never mind. So then I went Facebook Live, and I'm just railing on them, bro. and then people and then people comment on it and tell me I'm, just the typical thing. I've got a potty mouth, and then next thing you know, the next day, like 400 followers are gone, dude. And it's like, Jesus, man, you are some corporate worshiping fucking sheep. Just saying. And not only that, it sucks. Like, it's cool because you go in there and get 9,000 different flavors of fucking beef jerky, but that's about it. You can't find a pump on a Saturday or Sunday. There's a million fucking kids in there, and then parents are fucking dumb. So you're, like it's a gas station.
It made the news the other day. They kicked a couple out, wouldn't let them buy something because they pulled up in a truck.
Oh, an 18-wheeler. Yeah, and they don't support 18-wheelers. And you know what? That motherfucker owns it. He's a felon, and that's why for the longest they couldn't sell scratch-offs or alcohol. For the longest, and I think they still don't. But I think they sell alcohol now. But yeah,
I bought beer there on the way home.
So fuck that little water rat, dude. No. Next.
No Bucky pajamas for you.
Oh, I get it now. I mean, I get people show up to shows and bring me gifts, and they're like Bucky stuff.
Kathy showed up in a Bucky shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. The guitar player for Rick Trevino bought me a cup, and it has Bucky's logo on it. And it says Bucky sucks or something. It has my logo and stuff on it. It's pretty cool. Now it's become a thing, and so I'm just whatever. Like, I won't even stop there to take a shit. What I was going to do is every time I was going on a road trip, I was going to stop and go to the restroom and fucking just pull out every piece of toilet paper and all those things and just flush
clog the toilet.
That's what I was going to do until I used up $70. But I haven't done that yet because every time I stop, I just get more mad. It just makes me mad, dude.
What if the owner hit you up on social media and they're like, "I want to write you a check for $70."
I would tell him to go fuck. As a matter of fact, I have the flashlight. It's sitting on my desk. because I can send it back to the
Hey, send me a picture of it so we can we'll pop make it
I
pop
will,
up
dude.
on the podcast.
Yeah. I can send it back to the manufacturer and they'll send me a new one, but I just have it sitting there. Now it's not even about the $70. But what's fucking stupid about that little douche is that I've spent thousands of dollars at that store. Like I bought a Yeti cooler there one time. I bought a pair of Costa sunglasses there one time.
Principle of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of money. I mean, I probably spent $100,000 of just beef jerky alone. I mean, fuck them, dude. So I'm like, my one goal is to get to my platform where I'm big enough where I can just put them out of business. That's my goal.
Cancel culture.
That's my goal.
To start your own.
I like
gas
that.
station.
I mean, listen, it went through
Aim for the stars.
It went through 2 managers. And if anybody on the face of this fucking planet can give me a good reason why they would not give me either a new flashlight or my money back or store credit, then I'll maybe I'll think about changing my mind. But it just doesn't compute in my brain. If you buy something from a fucking store, they need to hold to the quality of that product.
See,
I agree with
we
you.
just got to your made it moment.
Yeah.
When you can shut down Buc-ee's, you made it.
Oh, I have a whole list of people that are going to get the haha.
All right, so I heard a little bit of story about a time where you indulged in a little too many sweets one time.
One time,
Maybe a couple times.
well, I mean, I guess you're talking about the one that went viral with the Gary Allen.
Yeah, that's the one I'm getting at.
Yeah, so I was playing a festival and I played with Gary Allen and a bunch of people, and I quit drinking and so I started eating edibles because I gotta have a vice, and I took 100 milligram edible with me. And so as soon as I got done off the stage, I don't play high. I can't do it because I fuck everything up. But as soon as I got off the stage, I knew I was gonna have to be at this festival all day long. So I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked up. So I ate this white chocolate edible, and about an hour later or whatever, I'm like feeling pretty good. And I go on this trailer, and there's like all of this like a smorgasbord of fucking munchie food, dude. There's like Doritos and you know, all this shit, Doritos and Rice Krispie treats, and like a stoner's fucking dream, dude. Mm-hmm. And so I take a bag of this Cheez-Its and I eat these Cheez-Its. I'm fucking going to town. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good, getting a little food in my stomach. Then I grab a Rice Krispie treat and I start eating that. Well, this guy comes on the trailer and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I got the munchies, bro. He's like, bro, all of that is infused. Like, everything on that table is infused. Dude, I'm talking about I was on the fucking moon for like the rest of the day. I was talking to the cops and like just, and every picture you see me with everybody playing, I'm just like, there's one of me and Wayne Toops, and I don't know who's more fucked up, me or him, but I'm just like, you know what I'm talking about?
When the fabric of time opens up and you just see into the other.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm just so fucking. So I did that. I told that story in a podcast, and it went viral. But the other night, the other night I'm sitting at home, and I just got these new things, and they're like 350 milligrams for the strip, right? It's like a strip, and I really want to get some sleep. It's one of those days where I was like, I'm just ready to get this fucked there with. I want to get some sleep, so I ate half of it, thinking, not a big deal. Well, a little bit later, I'm laying in my bed. I'm in my boxers, and and I hear something in the house, and I'm like, "Fuck, somebody's in my house." So I grab my gun, and I'm like, "Dude, I literally go through the whole fucking house, clearing the house, dude. Like I'm talking about Call of Duty, fucking Modern Warfare, like the pose, everything. But I'm clearing everything. Dude. I'm like clearing the fucking kitchen cabinets and shit. Like I am fucking-noid, dude." And so my roommate comes out of his room and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, somebody's in this fucking house. He's like, dude, nobody's in this house. Go to bed. You're fucking high. Whatever. I was like, dude, somebody is in this house. So finally I just go back to my room. I'm laying there and I'm like, all right, I'm not getting back out of this bed because somebody's fucking out there. I know they're out there. And then I got to pee. And I'm like, holy shit. I've got to piss so bad. And I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, I don't want to get out of bed. So finally all right, so I get up, I go to the restroom, I pull back, I search behind the fucking shower curtain, and I'm pissing, and I swear somebody's watching me through the window. And I'm like, I'm trying to pee, and it's like, psst, psst, just one of those like nervous situations. But you can't see through the fucking window. So, and what, when you've been in those situations before, it's made up. It's not real, but you just can't fucking help it. And dude, I finally was like, fuck it. I flushed the toilet. I ran to my room, jumped in closed my door, jumped and like covered up with the covers like that was gonna save me if somebody's in the fucking house. It was nuts, dude. I mean, just paranoid out of my fucking mind. Crazy. So yeah, I've definitely eaten too much a few times.
I can see the caption now.
Allegedly. We like to throw that word around liberally.
Jeff has
Allegedly.
a security blanket.
What allegedly what?
Exactly.
Oh. No, I was really fucking high. It wasn't. There was no. There was no allegedly about it. It was. I was.
Welcome to the Tall Tales portion of our podcast that may or may not be true.
No, that one's definitely true. That's 100% true.
Oh man, don't get you in in one of those interview rooms in the police station. You're done.
It's like it was me.
I mean,
So they bring a bag of Doritos and it's in.
Right.
I don't know. I think the one night I got arrested, I had a blast with those cops, dude. We had a great time. Poor. No, I'm serious, man. I got.
You want to tell that story?
What county? Yeah.
I was in
Go for it.
I was in Houston. And I was playing a show, and I'm in a bar like the size of this room, like, and no one's fucking there, dude. So I text a few people, and they're like, "Hey, we're at the Sherlock's over on Westgrave, which is like right down the road." So I run out on my break. I get my truck. I've had 2 vodka 7s. That's all I had. 2 just regular, Tito's and 7s. Get my truck, start driving. I don't do a complete stop at a stop sign. I fucking get lit up. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I had my buddy Richard in the car with me. So I pull over to the Starbucks, and this cop comes out, and I could tell he's a young cat, like super young. And he's like, "You been drinking?" I said, "I had a couple." He goes, "Well, I need to get, I think you might be impaired. I can smell it." And I said, "Dude, I'm 250 pounds. Like, I've had 2 drinks, but okay." So I get out and I do all the stupid fucking tests. And he's like, "I'll go take you to jail." I'm like, all right. So luckily I was able to get my keys to my buddy Richard, and he drove the truck home. So I didn't have to deal with that. So I get down to in-process. I get down to Houston City Jail, and 2 of the in-processing cops I know. So they're busting my balls, right out the gate. And then they're busting his balls because they're like, "What are you here for?" And I'm like, "I'm drunk, apparently." And they were like, "Dude, this guy, we've seen him do like backflips off fucking tables drunk and sing shit. Like, no, he's not drunk." But so they cuffed me to this thing, and then they're like fucking with this cop bad. And I'm like sitting there laughing my balls off. I'm not even drunk. I'm not drunk at all. So they take me and then I have to do like the official blow. This was 2006, so before the blood warrants and all that shit. I literally blew a .081. Not gonna lie, I got arrested for blowing all. And I told that cop, I was like, "If you'd have got me last night, you'd have had a slam dunk fucking case, bro." But I'm not drunk. And so luckily, my breathalyzer results and everything mysteriously never made it to prosecution. So I got to spend 18 hours in Harris County, which was fucking shitty. But other than that, it was,
Saved
So who finished the gig?
Oh, nobody. Yeah, that's a good question. I had to go. Well, you know what's
You
crazy?
had to go the next day and get your shit?
Yes, I did. And what's crazy is I had to fucking play another show that night. And so I grabbed my stuff. I got out just in time. And it was the Thursday of Good Friday too. And so they were actually going to take me. If I would have had to go over to county, I would have had to stay there for 4 days. They wouldn't let me for the holiday. And luckily, like right when they were putting me in line to take me to county, I got bailed out. So it was 18 hours, but I showed up to my next night show wearing the same fucking clothes that I've spent the whole, and that sticky ass. Has anybody been to jail before? Who's been to jail? Who's been arrested? Anybody been arrested?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in Houston, the floors are sticky as fuck, dude. Well, I was wearing Chucks, and they took my fucking shoelaces off. And I don't know if you ever tried to walk in Chucks with no shoelaces, but now imagine how sticky the floor is, dude. It was insane. Jail's like, they'll never take me alive. Like,
I say the same thing.
nah, there's no way. I couldn't go to prison, bro. There's no way. I was ready to Epstein that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Have someone break your neck and hang you.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, come fucking kill me, government, right now, because I need to take a shit, and I'm not shitting in that toilet. So
You'll find a
You have to
Buc-ee's on the
drink
way
from
home.
it.
huh?
You'll find a Buc-ee's on the way home.
Yeah, dude, man.
Take a shit. about 6 inches from the spout you're supposed to drink.
Yeah, it's
from.
crazy, man. It's nuts, dude. Like, and what's crazy is you're treating people like this, and they're not even convicted. That's what's nuts.
Dude, I watched something a couple of nights ago, and it was talking about this guy that spent 5 years or 6 years in jail, in county jail, waiting on his trial, and then he was on his third trial and was still in the county jail 5 years later. I'm like,
Happens all the time.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
And bad shit goes on at county.
I mean, he murdered his wife. I mean, he deserved to be, but like you're thinking, whoa, this dude isn't even convicted. He's been in jail for 5 years.
It's nuts, man. In Montgomery County, where we live, they have this Facebook page called Montgomery County Police Reporter, and every day they put who got arrested. And so, literally, you could get arrested for some bullshit, and everybody in the whole county is gonna know. And I love it because I know someone every fucking day.
We
I know
have
someone
them.
on the
Yeah,
other
we
end.
have
Do you?
Shout out Hunt County Theft Report.
Yeah.
I see a
Oh,
bunch
nice.
of my
Hey, you
homies
got
on that.
Rockwall busted, too. Rockwall busted. You'll see some friends.
One of my
Oh,
favorite things to
bro.
do is screenshot. If I know them, screenshot and
Send it
text,
straight to him.
them and like 10 people and be like, look at this idiot. Because that's what I mean. If that happens to me in Montgomery County, if people,
People are going to share that shit.
yeah, if people
Oh,
don't show up in a T-shirt to my show with my fucking mugshot on it, then I have shitty fans. Like,
Right.
yeah, absolutely, bust balls, dude, bust balls.
Absolutely.
Don't go to jail. Don't do drugs, kids.
Tim, you got anything you want to add? You're probably the closest to this degenerate here.
I do want to say that I know for a fact that Tim does not do drugs.
Yeah, I don't.
He does not do drugs. So if any of his
Alleged.
kids or high schools listening, I can promise you he doesn't do drugs.
And I haven't been arrested since 1982. I was 16. Got caught breaking into houses and stealing cars.
I was 3.
My dad
I'm
was
old,
like
man.
9.
I'm old.
Yeah, I was like 9.
Yeah, kiss my ass.
1982.
Every time we're in here, I'm
This is
by
sophomore
far
in
the
high
youngest
school.
in the room. I fucking love it.
All right, what's the next question?
God damn, I really am that old.
We're kind of out of questions. You kind of fucked our entire outline off.
Okay, I want to know something. I
All
do
right.
want to know something.
All right.
So I've got to see your shows, and you like you were talking about. You had to know a lot of '90s rock song covers. What was it that got you? Like, what did you hear? Was there any like a certain artist or an album, a song, something that you heard that transitioned you into what you do today? Because you have that very like Texas country songwriter feeling about you. So
I mean, I grew up so I grew up in the country, right? And I grew up on, Waylon Jennings, and I mean, dude, for the longest I thought that Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was a Willie Nelson song, because I remember getting the Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings tape, and it had so I didn't even know who Otis Redding was. I mean, so I grew up with that. I mean, my first concert ever was Chet Atkins, and my grandpa took me to a bluegrass festival, Chet Atkins and Roy Clark, and so I've been around the country thing for a while. And then even though I was playing rock stuff, man, like my favorite bands are ones that tell stories. And I know like Nickelback gets a bad rap because, everybody hates the biggest whatever. But Nickelback, to me, man, they're like all their songs are good stories,
I'll defend Nickelback.
Yeah,
they get way too
every
much
day
hate.
of my life.
Yeah, dude.
Every day of
They
my
get
life.
way too much hate.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I never understood that.
I've seen them live a few times. They put on a great show. Now, if my old lady hears me say that, she's gonna hate me because she knows Chad Kroger, whatever the fuck his name is, personally, and she doesn't like him. But it's to me, it's always been about the stories, dude. And so what happened was, towards the tail end of 2008, 2009, when the economy started to tank, so before that, I was in a band called the Elroys, and we were playing full band shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like every week, and it was Pearl Jam and Toadies and Weezer and all that shit. And then when the economy went out, I started doing acoustic shows. So then I started learning a bunch of Jason Mraz and John Mayer, Howie Day, the singer songwriters, Ryan Adams, those guys. And then I stumbled across a guy named John Moreland. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if y'all know who John Moreland is, but he's about a 500-pound dude. But he is, I mean, his poetry and his songwriting I mean, it saved my life, dude. It saved my life. And in 2017, I got sued by the company that repossessed my truck when I was 20. So you can do the math on that. That was in 2017. I was 20 in 2000, 99. So, almost 20 years later, they come after me, and I lost my bank account. So that kind of started this whole downward spiral in my life from 2017 to about August of 2020 was just just getting fucked by the universe every time you turn around. You know what I mean? Getting sued, my mom getting sick, got divorced, fell in love with a fucking idiot, bad business situations, and it was just bad, man. It was bad, and so I kind of went down this whole depressing spiral, in the music, and I just fell in love with like John Moreland and Jason Isbell and those guys that are writing these like this real shit, not this popcorn candy fucking bullshit, like songs about real stuff. And so I was like, man, and I started writing, and then when my mom got sick, I wrote a song called Needle and Thread, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was just trying to write a song for my mom. But I look back, and it's about the whole thing in hospice, right? That's what the song's about. And that, because I don't think I've ever heard a song about that. You hear a song about losing loved ones, but I don't think I've ever heard a song about the whole stay in hospice. And so, she passed away the day after Mother's Day in 2018, and that changed my whole life, because it was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? I'm waking up. I'm going to these bars. I'm playing these shows every night, but I'm not saving any money. I'm just, and I'm in a marriage that I'm unhappy in. Not that she did anything wrong. We just didn't communicate. We weren't around each other. And so I just started writing these real songs, man, because I was listening to real songs and I was living real shit, And so I look back, I'm 44 now, and I kind of wish I would have tried a little bit harder when I was younger, but I couldn't tell these stories when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I could not have
definitely know what
I
you
could not have written that first record when I was 30 or 25.
Yeah, you write about life experiences.
Yeah.
And you can tell that from your music.
Yeah, everything I write, everything I've written so far, and that's why I haven't cut any outside songs. Jody Booth did write a song called Me Too, and he sent it to me and pitched to me. He wants me to record it. I think I'm going to record it. That'll probably be my first outside song. Everything else I've written that I've recorded, I've written. I've recorded one co-write. I've given some co-writing credits to a few other songs, but they didn't. They helped out with one word or something. But you still take care of them. But everything else that I've recorded, I've written, minus the covers and shit. But
we alluded to it earlier about, I mentioned Monsters earlier. You can't write a song like that without life experience. That's my favorite song of all time.
Well,
deep.
A funny thing about that song is,
I freaking love that song.
And most people don't know this, I didn't write that song about suicide or depression. That's not what the song was written about. I actually woke up from a dream. I was having a reoccurring dream, and I woke up from a dream, and I was like, okay, I want to write a song that like, what's going to happen. And when you have those dreams, and sometimes you're dreaming, and then you can do like superhuman things. Sometimes you don't know you're dreaming, and it's nightmare or whatever. And like this same reoccurring dream, sometimes I would know I'm dreaming, and I could fight the monster, and I could kill him or fly around and do whatever I wanted to do. And then some days the monster would kill me, because I didn't know I was dreaming. And so that's what the song was originally written about. And then when I put it out, I shot a Facebook thing, and I was like, hey, whenever y'all hear this song, what do y'all think about? And at least 15 people came back at me and was like, this reminds me of depression and suicide. And so my buddy hit me up, and he's like, man, like, my dad killed himself when I was 17, and that's all I can think about when I hear this song. And then so that's why I decided to do the video, because really, when you really listen to it and you think about it from that perspective, and maybe subconsciously I was writing it that way, when you really listen to the words, that's definitely what it's about.
Dude, I love it. It's deep.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't heard it, you gotta listen to it.
Yeah, great song.
And check out the video. The music video, I think, ties it all together, really. And there's a couple things I wish I would have done differently about that video, but overall, I'm happy with it. You know, it's very hard to get someone to watch that video to the end, and the end is the most important part of the video. So I wish I would have put something in it at the beginning to say, watch this till the end. You know, I don't know how I could have done that, but because most people, you know, they check out at 2 minutes or 1 minute or something. And, you know, and I've had family members like tell me they can't watch it because it's hard. Because I don't know if y'all have seen the video or not, but basically it's me in a secluded area and I kill myself in the woods. I mean, you don't actually see me kill myself, but you can see the gun go in my mouth and all that shit. And have you seen the video?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's just
Never
me.
seen the end.
It's just me and my buddy AJ. He's shooting it, and you know, I had to go to some dark places to pull it. You know, because that was real tears. It was real. I mean, I was really shaking because I was really thinking I was going to kill myself. Like that's when I was doing the video. So I'm pretty proud of that. Look, Mom, I can act. You know what I mean? So, and that was the scariest part. So there was two things that were scary to me to come back over to country, right? One of them is a lot of these people know me as this guy who's playing rock and roll, and how are they going to take, you know, last thing I want to do is come over and be a poser, right? Like I just doing country because country's what's selling right now. And I think if you listen to my music, you know better than that. But that was like one of my fears. The other fear is my brand is kind of this cut loose, get crazy, do crazy shit, you know, say anything, be funny. But yet when you hear my music, it's not that. But what's basically happened is kind of created this dichotomy where it's, you know, we still do the funny shit at stage and we still do dumb stuff, but the music is serious.
Yeah.
And that's like real life, man. I mean, life's not always happy. It's not always sad. Sometimes you're dealing with shit that nobody else knows about and you got to put on a happy face. And that's really, and I just want to write about real life things. And I say it all the time. I want to write real songs and play them in front of real people. That's it. That's my goal. I have no other goals other than that, is to play in front of as many real people as I can play in front of. That's my goal. And that's how I made it. If I can go to any city in Texas and bring out 50 people, then you made it. So I see it.
Hell yeah. Well, we're looking forward to you playing more in this area for sure, in front of all kinds of real people that obviously been supporting you, because that's how I found you, was through multiple people supporting you around this
it's
area.
been crazy, man. This community's been so open, and it's because of Tim and Kathy that kind of got everything started. Catherine.
Nah,
sorry.
don't act all modest over there. Y'all 100% brought them over here.
Yeah, I said something about that. I mean, their podcast was how I found you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on multiple podcasts. I mean, I'm probably 25 or 30 over the past couple of years.
God, you podcast whore.
But I honestly, I don't think I've been on any of them where the people running the podcast are as supportive as they are of the artist.
Thank you.
For sure.
Right.
I don't think I've been on any of them where I've become friends with the people doing it. And I know for sure I haven't met any other musicians because of some other podcast. Like y'all's are that is exclusive to y'all. And so, you know, and I've been on some really cool, I'm not talking negative about any podcast. I've been on some really badass, fun, crazy podcasts, but y'all have something special, and a lot of it is just the community that y'all started in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think I've heard a single person on y'all's podcast that thinks that they're better than anybody, and I think that is a testament to Catherine and her vibe she gets off people. Even though she was scared to meet me.
Oh man, the first words I had in her mouth when we pulled up, oh, he's a fucking asshole.
This guy's
What
gonna
are
be
we
such an
do?
asshole just because the way I looked, and I'm like,
You didn't have a guitar, you know.
yeah, I mean, well,
That's why Buc-ee's didn't give you that refund. They looked at you and they're like,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
"Motherfucker broke this flashlight."
I mean, and to some people, I'm an asshole. I'm definitely an asshole to some people because I think you get treated how you treated, and so if I'm an asshole to you, it's because you did something that I didn't like, you know, and so whatever that may be, and I don't have any room for bullshit anymore. Like I have no room for bullshit, and I'm gonna call you out on it, and I don't give a shit if you get mad. I don't care if you get upset. You know, Candace gets fed up with it all the time because I'm like, here we go again. You know, you got some fucking cunt driving in the left fucking lane, and they'll get behind, they'll pass you up, and then they'll get behind an 18-wheeler, and then you're going faster than them, and then they'll pull out in front of you to pass the 18-wheeler, and then you got to turn your cruise. It's, shit like that. I just want to call them out. I want everybody to fucking know how stupid they are. Like, everybody needs to know if
somebody's a dumbass,
you know what? And that's
know
something that's different right now in society that wasn't the case before. In the past, if you had somebody being an asshole and somebody said, hey, you're being a fucking asshole, everybody would cheer and be like, yeah, motherfucker, you're being an asshole. That's not what goes on now. Now what happens is you got somebody being an asshole, somebody stands up and says, hey, you're being an asshole. Well, then the everybody turns on the person calling them out. Yeah. That is insane. Like, don't say anything negative about anybody. Man, some people need to be fucking called out.
Yeah.
And if anybody has a problem with that, go to jeffcanadasucks.com.
Yeah. Jeff Canada Sucks.com.
Please send him an email.
I can talk all
Not
night,
us.
so just cut it off whenever you want to cut it off. I can go all night. So.
We're about to, damn it.
Do what you got to do.
All right. Jeff, thank you for an interesting interview.